Welcome everybody. We are here with another Open Office Hours with Kim. She's going to try to make it through this Open Office Hours, but unfortunately her voice is a little not well today.
Yeah.
So that's okay.
If I break into a coughing spell, just ignore me. You guys have tolerated some technical issues last week, and now you have Kim's. I was sick like last October. We had a few weeks in a row, and people were like, Kim, you're not better yet. So I did get better, but now I got something new.
That's okay. We'll make it through it. It's the changing of the seasons that are the worst.
Honestly.
But today we're going to be building we have built, and we're going to show you how to do it on your site, a powerful membership dashboard where you can find all of the important links and information that your members are going to need to be a active member on your website. What we don't want is for people to sign up for your website and then just do nothing with it. We want them to, consume your content and find everything. So, Kim, when you're ready, I will share your screen, but I know you're not.
All right.
I see
no, I'm just doing some fixing, last minute fixing. You can always make it better, right, guys? Okay.
Always make it better.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay. So, the biggest part of these open office hours is like us building demo sites, right? So we have our try.pmproplugin.com. If you go to that website, you can launch a clone of our basic demo. It has a lot of our add-ons. It has some third-party plugins we recommend, and it's kind of a fully built out membership site. And we do have these use cases we talk about. So the 8 use cases we identify on our homepage, you may have seen that like hub graphic. But when I made this demo, I went kind of in the community association course premium content route. So I kind of have a taste of all different types of content you might have in your site. We'll definitely get space in this event to drill into certain use case types, and I can add some sections to the dashboard I created here. I want to take you on a walkthrough of this demo site. This is not yet on InstaWP, so you can't kind of copy the demo of it, but I'll get it there. It's just a lot easier for me to develop locally. I use local, which was formerly called Flywheel. I don't know if anyone else just has like a playground on their home computer, their home laptop that they use for just testing things out, kind of a safe space that's really speedy loading. You don't have to wait for things to put to your web server, or refresh or caching. It's all pretty snippy when you do it locally.
And real quick, Kim, before you dive into your site, I will just let everybody know that this specific open office hours topic was brought to us by a community member who said, I really want to know how to do this stuff. What can you do? How can you help me? And so that we're bringing it to everybody. So as a community member, we do hear you, we listen, and we try to provide what we can. So just a little tidbit of this is a personal request.
Yes. Yeah. And I'll say, like, you're going to install Paid Memberships Pro. You're going to have all these other plugins you're using. We don't know what kind of content you're creating or how you're creating it, how you're locking it down. So, this idea that we could offer some kind of like dashboard magical creator, there's steps we can take. I think I learned a lot creating this demo for you guys. But there's always going to be pieces that are unique to you, which is like the beauty and the pain of having full customization options for yourself. So if you go to a hosted platform, a Kajabi or a Podia or whatever, they have pre-made templates, and it's like, just enter your name, enter your content, boom, you're done. But if you're like, no, I want to start offering a video library in addition to my courses, or I want to start offering my newsletters as archives on my Kajabi site, you probably are going to hear no from them, which is fine, because the speed to get launched and the speed and the beauty and the no code approach to that might be what you're after. But what we love about PMPro users is that they sacrifice a little bit of the speed for all of that control, all of that future proofing, and the ability to really make it their own end to end. So you're going to see some code, you're going to see some CSS in this. You're going to see like duplicate things on the account page, and you have to know behind the scenes that there's like ways it's protected. So I won't say that creating these dashboards is easy or fast, but I will say it's all very possible. I created this demo site in like 3 hours yesterday. I could keep tinkering on it, but I actually didn't even have a site to start with. I didn't have a concept. So it was a lot of generating that content, generating images for it. So yeah, it's not.
And if some of the code is intimidating to you, I suggest that you join us for our Coding with Sam sessions that we have every other Friday. Our next one is next Friday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern. And those just kind of help you get your toes wet, play with a little bit of code. I'm a non-coder, non-developer, no background experience at all. And I come live to you for a quick, like 15 to 20 minute session on how to update your site. So that's just something to join.
Yeah, we'll probably do some of these demos in your thing. All right. Well, I've introed it enough. So I'll just walk you through this site so you get an idea of kind of what we're going to be looking at here. So I created its Codecraft Collective. Maybe it's actually what we all could create as people who build membership sites. We're independent people building websites. So I just have a basic homepage. This is the MemberLite theme. We have some exciting things coming from MemberLite, not out yet, but exciting things coming. Just a basic website. We have kind of our membership plans using the default Paid Memberships Pro layout, nothing special here. This site has main levels, which are like the 2 tiers of access. My solo learner tier is all the content and courses. Craft Collective includes community features and directory access. That's how I kind of segmented it. That's how ChatGPT segmented, let's be honest. I do have courses in this site using our native courses module. You can buy the courses individually, or they are included as part of the membership. We'll see that later. And then I added some coaching packages just to show you some other ways that you might need to add unique content to your dashboard based on what kind of packages you're selling. So we have these like a la carte one-time buy things, which are kind of a single product, single piece of access. We have coaching packages, which are kind of one-to-one, site owner to member, to the person that purchased it. And there's kind of unique content that we communicate about one-to-one. And then there's those regular tier memberships, which have lots and lots of things. And it's my job as the creator of this site to show you all the things you have access to, keep it fresh, give you a home base when you log in to show you what's new and what's upcoming. So those are my levels. I did create like a basic blog. I have 2 categories of content. One is a premium. Jason didn't really write this, but I thought it needed more faces. So I have a premium category of content. You'll see that these are restricted to, you must be a member for that access. And then I have some public content. Oh, why am I? Oh, I'm just in the category of premium. What did I click on? Okay, here's the blog. And then I have some public content, which doesn't look great, but it's just lorem ipsum. These are the courses using our native courses module. I'm not logged in, so you'll see I have membership required, and I can just view the overview of the lessons in the course, but I can't access any of them individually. I have forums. You can see that there's activity in forums, but you can't click through and access any of them. So you kind of get an overview that there's a dynamic experience happening in here. That was me last night adding some fake forum replies. And then I also have events. This is the events calendar. These are all protected for members only. You can't view the full event details. You can't view the sign up link for the Zoom call. It's just always going to filter you back into sign up experience. And then I just have a basic login page. So that's all like the non-member experience of this site. I'm going to log in and we're going to get to what we promised today, which is this member dashboards thing. I don't want to save that. Okay. So first thing you'll see on this homepage here, I modified those buttons to link to our member dashboard. Instead of showing them compare plans and log in, now it's a focused homepage that's just taking them right to their member dashboard. That's just done with the content visibility settings on that block. I can go into that later if anyone's confused of how to use that. You'll see here this, we used to say register login. This is a MemberLite thing. Now I have a link right to my account page here. I can also add additional menu items here, but I chose not to because they are in our main menu already. And I'm going to change. The one thing I was doing right before this call was playing with the design settings. So you'll see that my dashboard inherits them. But I'm going to go back to the base styles in Paid Memberships Pro because I really like the more softer appearance. And my first cough is coming. I did pretty good. Can you mute me when I cough, Sam? How's this work?
Yeah, I can. Here. I can mute you if you want me to.
Okay. Let's see how far I get now. Okay, so here's our dashboard. This is the Paid Memberships Pro membership account page. So it's the page assigned. I'm going to cough drop it now. I lasted for 10 minutes. All right. So this is the page assigned as our membership account page, but it looks nothing like the default shortcode, right? I'm going to scroll through it and then we'll get into what is what. I didn't last long. Sam, do you want to talk about this page a little bit?
I can try. So I actually have not looked at Kim's demo site before this. This is like a real quick thing that she did yesterday. But the membership account page, the base overview of it when you start your membership site with PMPro is going to be showing your membership levels, allowing the person to cancel their membership level. If it's a recurring subscription, it'll show them that information. And depending on the gateway, they can update their billing info or completely cancel. And then it'll also show them orders. And there's different ways using the block or shortcode to determine what you want to actually show on the account page. Kim is demonstrating the shortcode version, and she's going to show us what that pulls up when you just use the base shortcode. So this, you can edit your profile, change your password. There's your memberships there. And the links to the video library, premium content, and browse courses, those are going to be custom links that she added with code that's not out of the box. Oh, it's actually, oh, that's right. There's a new setting there. So she linked it in the new membership level settings. I could do this all day. This is like a PMPro charades game. So as of, I think it's like 3.4, there was a new setting in there. Okay, and then it also shows you the history, your order history. So it shows you what you've paid for. And then the member links is not, is it? It is? No, it is not.
Sorry, guys. Okay. Thank you, Sam. Sam, you can read my mind. We've worked together for over 3 years. You can read my mind. Okay. So yeah, we wanted to show you that basic example. Maybe if I speak less animatedly, it'll work. We'll see. So yeah, that's what it would look like if you just use the base shortcode or block. And that's that page assigned as the account page. So let's look at this custom page now. Why am I getting a spinning icon? Uh-oh. All right. So what's custom about this page? I took off the default shortcode completely. It's not on here. I custom built all of these sections based on the types of content that members will gain access to as part of this membership. So this masthead is just all block editor. I didn't use any custom, any page builder. This is not an Elementor kind of thing. It's just the block editor. So I did this masthead. I'll look at it behind the scenes. You'll see kind of the things that I'm using. We are going to move this all into a blog post. So you'll have step-by-step how to recreate something like this. If you're using the WordPress block editor, maybe we'll even go so far as create a duplicate version of it for Elementor. We can have Kim White do that because she's more familiar with Elementor than me. There's like kind of a column of a menu, which I think is really nice. It's a way to give people a quick list of all the things that they can access. This is a menu managed in WordPress, and I have a custom code recipe that throws it into the member links section. So when we saw the member links section on this page, this really is a code recipe to give that more flexibility. We are thinking of ways to let the WordPress menu structure control what's in member links. Because if you can use menus, you can do really cool things with our Nav Menus add-on and create a customized navigation on your account page based on the level of the user browsing your site. So that's a super cool thing. I have like a jumping off point to my courses. So, you know, this is not going to dynamically change if I publish new courses. It's really just go back in to the courses. I was trying to see if like Lifter LMS had, or any of the other courses had, like, find me the last lesson they took. So I think an upgrade would be dive back into the exact course they previously were part of and resume it. But
I think Lifter has that
custom code that
functionality.
They have it per course. I guess we just have to know, like, Sam, you might have partial completion in like 10 courses. So it's like, which one was the very last? If you can find me that shortcode, that'd be really cool. I pulled in using WordPress query loop block, the latest 3 posts in the premium catalog. So if I come back to this next week, maybe the site admin posts 3 new articles. So my dashboard will be very lively. It'll always be changing based on what's newly published in the site. It's not just these 3 posts. If you weren't publishing as frequently, you could rather do like a random on the query loop block, and you were concerned you still wanted freshness on your account page, but you didn't want to have to rely on your publishing schedule to determine that. So you could do a random also within a specific category. I'm going to get back to that sidebar in a moment. This is a section I made with the events calendars shortcode. I made a little column, upcoming events, view all events, and then I'm using their shortcode to show the next 5 that are coming up. They can click right through to those, or they can view the full calendar here. I also have this section about the forums in my site. In this site, I chose to create a distinct forum per course. So kind of like you took the course, now extend your learning. Rather than an open forum or a forum that like maybe I was responsible for creating all of the individual topics within. Now I'm saying like this is a specific forum about this specific course, and I'm pulling in the latest 3 replies across the forums. I did create a video library in the site. That was an ask of the community member that had this dashboard idea. I'm using a plugin that lets you kind of create post types on the fly. Hold on a second. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry that this is painful for you all. Okay. So pulling in those videos here.
Not as painful as it is for you.
Oh, maybe. Sam, if you weren't here, I'd be way more uncomfortable. Thank you for being here. And then these 3 videos are pulled in. That would also be dynamic based on the newly published videos in this video library. So if you were constantly adding videos, this would pull in the latest 3. And then I pulled in this join the conversation, which are like recent comments on all of the premium blog posts. So that's WordPress native. That it's just like a WordPress block to pull that in, another dynamic attribute. And then I added this kind of feedback block. All right. So this looks pretty crazy. How did we make this all? So let's get into the editor and show what we have here. So that masthead piece is a synced pattern. So I use that across a few pages within the account. It gives me the control to manage and edit it in one place in WordPress. And then I know that it gets updated across all pages that use that synced pattern. So you can see here, I have this page called Manage Membership. This is a sub page of the PMPro account page, and it uses the shortcode section for the account page just to show their memberships. So instead of an account page that showed, like we looked at in the example, profile, memberships, order history, now I've sectioned all of those into individual sub pages. So this is just a view of their memberships. We saw that before. That's just WordPress and PMPro shortcode pulled in. Same with order history. I'm repeating that pattern here and just showing that section of that order history subpage right here. Same with profile, same thing, and just the edit profile shortcodes. So we've kind of split our account page into a dashboard, which is what we're talking about here, and then these more account management pages that are a little bit buried, but still easily accessible. So that's my synced pattern. And then this is, if I get this to go away, maybe I'll get a better view for you guys here. Okay. So I'm just using columns. If you're more comfortable with Elementor, you could do all of this in Elementor, except I guess this is a block. But I'm just using the columns. There's columns in Elementor. There's columns in Divi. I'll show how I did that menu here, but I'm just kind of repeating the pattern, building the buttons. I'm using the visibility settings on my blocks here to say who shows what. So membership this lower tier membership solo somebody, they don't get access to the directory. So I'm just calling it out, but I'm still including it on the dashboard because I think it's interesting to also show lower tier members like a taste of what higher tier could include. So if somebody accesses this, that's part of this solo learner, they're not going to get to the directory, but it's a way to entice them to know that it would be a benefit of their higher tier membership. So I would do that sparingly. I wouldn't do it all over the place because if everything from the dashboard is like a dead end to that member, then it's kind of no fun at all for them. So giving them like a combination of things to kind of subtly upsell a premium feature and not put it in their face. So yeah, these are just buttons and links. I said here, this premium blog post section, this is what's called the query loop. I think Elementor probably has something similar. It has settings it's a WordPress post editor, block editor, block. I can customize which content is included. And here I've said only include this premium category, which is the category that all my posts that are non-public are part of. Here I go again. I did also include a section of just the public blog posts because I do have membership levels that aren't going to get that premium stuff. So I have this premium section using Paid Memberships Pro's content visibility, only showing to the people who can view it. And then I have a section that excludes those specific levels and just shows a few recent blog posts. So I'm still creating a nice dashboard for people who are those a la carte course purchasers we saw in the beginning, without throwing it in their face that they're going to hit the dead end on those premium posts. Here's that section we saw on the front end. Similar pattern. I was like duplicating what I already created, which made it really easy to do this. And then this is something that the events calendar offers. If you're using a different events plugin, they all have some kind of short code to show like a few events. So you should find something similar in other versions. Here's that course discussion section. Nothing really magical here. And this is another one of those query loop blocks. This one is instead showing post type video, which is the video's post type that we pulled in. Yeah, I don't know. So it feels like it's a lot of magic. You look at it on the front end, you're like, that's gorgeous. But really, it's just like I sat down, I took the time, I thought about the content this membership includes, and I thought about how I wanted to kind of show it and display it without a lot of coding and just building it out myself. I said in the beginning, there would be those like duplicate sections, right? You're going to feel weird as the admin creating this because you're going to say, like, why do I have blog posts twice? Your brain just has to say, oh, because this is a section of the account page that's conditionally shown based on the membership level that people are in the site.
There's a couple comments and
Sure.
and questions, so I'm gonna give your voice a rest. And
yeah, let me mute. I can cough a lot.
I can answer these. So the first question, the Wealth Expedition is wondering if PMPro offers the ability to create a forum or just link to a forum that's a totally separate plugin. It would be a separate plugin. We recommend using BuddyPress, and we do have an integration that will allow you to bridge PMPro and BuddyPress together to do your member restrictions. So there's the answer to that one.
And this site's only using bbPress, but Sam's correct. BuddyPress would also include forums and additional community features. So I did the bbPress only route here, but either
we do have integrations for both.
Yep.
It's a different add-on. I put the link to the BuddyPress, but if you're interested in bbPress, I can get you the link for that one. Just let me know. And then Francisco is wondering, is Paid Memberships Pro fully compatible with Elementor and also Visual Composer? Since it works with shortcodes, if I got it right, I don't like Gutenberg editor very much. It is compatible with Elementor. I'm not sure. Is Visual Composer a part of Elementor, or is that a separate plugin? That part I don't know. But we are compatible with Elementor in there. I can post a link for our documentation on the compatibility. There's a couple differences. Like you wouldn't have the content visibility that Kim is talking about. You would have to use shortcodes or the built-in content restrictions with Elementor. It's a little bit different. I'll get you that Elementor link. Oh, it's two different things. Okay, so Kim White is saying that Elementor and Visual Composer are two different things. I'm not familiar with Visual Composer.
I don't think we have support for it natively.
I am not familiar with it.
Why do I feel like there's code? I don't know. I'm supposed to be resting my voice.
Yes, you're resting your voice. I'm going to go through the comment. A tidbit, if you're using Elementor, Fitworks says, if you do columns in Elementor, make them a template as you may experience a website slowdown, especially in the page editor. And apparently developers at Elementor are working on that issue. So that's just a good little note if you're using that that tool. Kim White says, Visual Composer, you should use shortcodes. So there's your answer to that one. Is it better to create this with Elementor or not? That is completely up to your preference. You can use the shortcode way. It's really up to you about what your site is built with, what you prefer to build with. I know Kim and I, we are not anti-page builder, but if we had to pick, we would pick Gutenberg. We just don't love working with page builders, but that's our personal preference and what we know. So you can definitely use what you know.
It's totally a what you know thing. In my experience with Elementor, I found it too easy to like accidentally change fonts or change font sizes. And then I would result in this very inconsistent, like some H1s were this font size, some H1s were this font size. And I found it hard to like exactly, it gave me too much control almost over the styling of things. Whereas I think for me, the block editor with the theme I wrote with MemberLite, which you're looking at here, it kind of like had enough guardrails that I could replicate things, but not create like a chaotic design. But I think it's totally a preference. I mean, 50% of WordPress sites, right, are Elementor based. So it's not wrong. I'm probably wrong. Me and Sam are we just don't use it. So yeah.
We're weird.
We're weird.
Okay, so going back to some questions, the New England Santa Society said, instead of video, is it possible to link in a recorded Zoom meeting? Sure, why not?
Yeah, I mean, any section here we could replicate and just add some links. I don't know where the Zoom meetings are stored, if they're on Zoom or if they're part of your site. If you're creating like an archive of Zoom events, I know paid newsletters and an archive of past newsletter issues was something that the inspiration for this event came from. And that is also one of those, where are your newsletters archives being listed? Same with the Zoom meetings. Is that like a Zoom link? Because anything here you could replicate and just say, all right, let's just duplicate this for funsies, you know. Past. Yes. I read a thing recently that young people don't call them webinars. And I almost just wrote webinars here, but that like Gen Z calls it master classes. I don't know. We can call them webinars because I'm not Gen Z. Missed an event. Catch up with our previous Zoom recordings. Here. View all recordings. Then you could create like a page, a sub-page of this called past masterclasses, past events, whatever you wanted to call it. And then you could just add that list here. You know, what's today? April 10. Powerful. And link that up to whatever, right? And yada, yada. So then you'd just be adding, you know, another type of content here for them to access right from the page. So yeah, this is like totally a flexible dashboard. It's an example of all the flavors of content that I could think of for my little demo site. But yeah, keep adding stuff. Like I said, like past newsletters. Certainly, if you had those links, if you were using Kit, they have like a web-based archive of your newsletter. You could just, you know, manually go in and update them here pretty easily. Very cool.
All right, so keep going on the questions, which we've had a lot of comments coming in.
Yeah. We love it.
So Owen thought PMPro implemented our own community, so BuddyPress would not be needed. That is not the case. PMPro does not have community features built in core. It would be an add-on that bridges plugins to work together. And with our BuddyPress integration, it would be allowing that membership restriction onto the community features that BuddyPress offers. And then, like Kim said, in her case, on this site specifically, she used bbPress, which has the form capabilities and less community features.
I upgraded myself so I could access these now. Yeah. I stick to just the forums thing. BuddyPress comes with so much. It's almost maybe better to look at what you actually want to use in BuddyPress and see if there's a single plugin alternative. Like I had someone asking about live chat. And I don't think BuddyPress's live chat really works. There's like messaging, and I was like trying to drill in, like, do you really want live chat? Do you want messaging? Which one of these are you after here? Or is it really just a forum? And it sounded like it was just a forum, so you could stick to like the bbPress route.
Robert wants to know, is there an effective search tool plugin so members can find content quickly?
Yeah, let's add search here. Where would I add search? So WordPress native search, let's just add it before. All right, let's try this and we'll just see what we come up with. All right, I didn't get into the code yet of this, which is fine. We will get into it because there's some magic behind the scenes here. So let's see what this brings us. All right. So let's say we wanted, what would we want to search for? Where are my events twice? Do you guys see that? I duplicated and edited the wrong thing. I screwed up my dashboard. All right, let's try Storyteller because that's that one video. So this would just give you like the search results of everything WordPress can search. It's not no filtering. It's not searching within the video library specifically. It's just through all of the posts pages, custom post types in the site. What would it be? I think there was, when we were talking on a live event once, we were looking at some plugins for search, and there was like some like faceted search was one we found. I don't know if anyone's used an advanced search, Ajax Searchlight, live search and filter. Has anyone used this one?
I think on the PMPro site, we use Elasticsearch, I think.
I'm trying to find one that lets you like drill into certain content types. This might do it. I'm going to try it. It is a demo site, so we can't screw anything up too much. I do want to fix my membership account page, though. What did I do? All right. We installed and activated it. Ajax Searchlight. Now we have to decide how it works. How does it work? All right. I coughed. I feel better.
It's interesting that it says enable accessibility and accessibility is not automatically.
Yeah, that's weird. This is letting you add stuff to search. All right, let's just see what this does. Is it like a widget? Ajax Searchlight. Okay, here. Doesn't look any different, huh? I was hoping that it would give me like some filters, like based on what word did we, a storyteller. Well, that's cute. All right, so it's kind of, what are some of my other, oh, it just like starts pulling stuff in. No.
Interesting.
Yeah. I was looking for something that would let us, like, let people say, like, I want to search videos for term storyteller, right? Maybe it's pro. Front end filters. Here we go. What's this? More filters, premium, category filters. So search settings on. Let's see. I have some settings now. I don't know. This one could be interesting. There was another WordPress search. Was it called faceted search? Facet WP advanced filtering. I've heard things about this before.
Gromel
I have
also
not used it personally.
suggested
Someone
that
recommend.
one.
Someone recommended this
Yeah.
one. Okay, yeah. So maybe something like this. I don't know. search is a challenging thing, and it's hard to know like what struggles people are having with finding things in the site. And almost is it better to guide them through? Is it better to guide them like closer and closer to what they're looking for rather than like giving them like a broad search, like video library, have categories of videos, let them pick a category and then get into that subcategory? Is that a better navigation experience, or like they just throw a word out there and they're like, is there any videos about cats? And then they find nothing, and then they're like, they don't have any cats videos. Like, is that experience great? I don't know. Even for PMPro's Pro site, like I use Google to search our site, which is interesting. I don't know if anyone else has those habits. Like everyone has like their own process.
I
Sam,
use
you
the
use
search
our
on our
search.
site.
Yeah.
I use our site search, yeah. But
Yeah.
I will say it drives me bonkers. But I've also learned that like people, our website visitors don't really use our search. It's a low number of people who use the search.
I want to get back before I made that Zoom thing. Any other questions? Should I start looking at the code?
We do have some other questions thrown in here. Katia says, do you have a function so I can send automated newsletters to my members each time I upload a new post? Not at this time.
We were just talking about it.
We were talking about it. It is an idea that's been thrown out there, but we do not have anything like that at this time.
Now we lost everything.
I do know, I think WordPress has
I'm screwing it up.
Like functionality to where your users on your site can get emailed when new content is published. But that wouldn't link to like your specific members list. So if you posted something for your premium content, it would, if you have that on, it would go to everybody and not a specific set of members.
Yeah, I don't know if I did that. So if you want to shout it out, what email marketing tool are you using? If you're using a WordPress native one, like the newsletter plugin or MailPoet, or if you're using something like a MailChimp, ConvertKit, one of those. So most of those third-party external EMSs have what's called like an RSS to campaign feature. So search for that. I know that MailPoet and the newsletter plugin have those natively, or Fluent CRM also has that natively. And you can set up automations that create emails based on anytime a post is published. And then you can segment like which category, right? So anytime a new post is published in category premium, and then you can send it to a segment of your list, which would be the PMPro Pro integration for MailPoet, or for newsletter plugin, or for Fluent CRM to tag and join lists based on membership level. So it's not native PMPro Pro, but there's integrations that can do it. Same with these external EMS. It's possible. You just have to set up an automation that listens to the RSS feed of your posts. And you have to be exposing at least the existence of posts in the REST API. So PMPro Pro can hide members-only content. It can show it just like the excerpt, or it can show just the title. So the only way that the RSS feed could read the post content is if you allowed some partial view of it to the non-member.
Yeah, I don't want to get too off topic with the email integration discussion. We are going to have an open office hours on email integrations. We're going to show, I think, like 3 popular email integrations. So just watch out for that open office hours for us to really dive into that specific topic.
All right. Want me to move on to some code?
Let me look real quick.
I'll pull up what I want to show.
Oh, we do have a request for you to show the plugin list for the demo site.
Oh, sure. Okay.
And then as far as the other question that the Wealth Expedition posted about exclusive video, I will link you to where you'd want to go.
Not use. I want to deactivate some I thought I'd use, but I didn't. I used import just to get set up, so I don't need that. User switching and duplicate post I just kind of used for. All right, so let's show you these. So I'll run through this list of what this demo site has. I said already it has the member-lite theme. bbPress is powering the forums, and our bbPress integration here is what's controlling access to the forums, who can view and participate. Code Snippets is our favorite plugin. Come back on Friday for Coding with Sam next week.
Next Friday, not tomorrow.
Next Friday. And you'll see how we use that. I'm going to show in a moment too. It's just a nice way to add short code snippets, keep them labeled by like the title of them and toggle them on and off if you think they're causing problems. So that's what that's used for. The custom post type UI is what I used. So a WordPress post and a page are going to come in a default WordPress setup. This videos one was created with the custom post type UI. It's just a nice way to, when you have structured information, that is all like one type of structured information. So if you had a recipe post and you wanted a recipes post type, this videos post type, you could have past master classes as a post type. Really the experience of editing content and viewing it on the front end isn't going to feel different than posts and pages, but it's just going to have this like structurally different URL pattern. So like my video library is at /videos. This is like a blog archive, but it's an archive of video post types. And then my single videos are going to feel a lot like a post, but this is like a different post type called a video. PMPro, obviously. This is our integration for bbPress. This is what's powering our courses here. Events add-on is what's powering access to the events calendar events. It has integration for a couple other events plugins as well. Member directory is what's that highest tier of membership feature being included in our directory. I'm actually not using Nav Menus Add On, but we can demonstrate it. That's an add-on that lets you swap any of your menu locations if you're using a classic or a hybrid WordPress theme, swap them out based on level. So maybe your theme defines a primary menu. You can also now create like a primary menu version that's only for members. And this add-on is going to say, oh, I see this menu location, but Kim's a member, swap, show this one. And then it can go so far down to the single level. So not only is Kim a member, but Kim's in Craft Collective, show Kim the Craft Collective version of that primary menu. Update Manager is what helps you keep PMPro, your theme, up to date from our secure servers. Events Calendar is my events plugin, and user switching I was going to use, and we can still. It's just a third-party plugin that lets you pretend to be someone else in the site. So I'm logged in as Kim with Craft Collective. If I wanted to go and pretend to be Andre, where I don't have Craft Collective, Andre's a solo learner, so no access to view the directory. Just a quick way to validate that you have all of your membership settings correct. You can switch to a non-member. You can switch to someone who's like, hey, you told me I had access to that and I don't. You can pretend to be them and validate if that's actually true or if it's user error. That's a cool one. Those are the plugins, not too many. How many? I know people have some like, oh my gosh, there's only 12 plugins in this site. That's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have had an analytics plugin, a SEO plugin. There's things missing that most sites need.
There's actually a question from Francisco. Is there a problem to have so many plugins installed, considering there's really a lot of PMPro plugins that they can use? And Kim White answered it beautifully. Kim White said it's not really a problem. The problem is poor quality plugins or the ones that are not updated. And I mean, you can run into some kind of compatibility issues. I think like yesterday we were talking about logging in and logging out, and there are some plugins that want to control the login, and PMPro also wants to control the login. So you can end up with conflicts there, but you really have to tell which plugin to take priority.
And I think like the well-coded, it's also like a sign like I'm navigating my site. You're not seeing tons of ads and banners, right? Here's a member light one. Dismiss. It's never going to come back. These are good plugins from respectable companies that only really do their ad stuff on their pages. If you install plugins, you're starting to see like a ton of garbage. You can like question. Okay, got it out. This one has some ads, but it's only in their settings screen. So I'm okay with that. Everyone has to like upsell open source somehow, right? All right, what do we want to show next? we want to show the code. Someone wanted a demo of the Nav Menus add-on. Let's do that too. So I'll run through the code that just is some hooks to change things that you can't do without code. Okay. So for example, we showed this earlier on, let me show what's on this page. This is the membership section of the account page. So PMPro account section membership. Sam probably has docs or already has shown you, or they'll be in the blog post that accompanies this replay.
I can find the docs on that.
So this custom code is what's adding this share feedback link. So we have the setting we showed earlier of where to put, if you edit a level, you can add content to these cards. So my membership account message is on the edit level screen. So the Craft Collective has this additional content added. That's like the easiest no code way to put a few things that you want into this kind of dashboard and create, like if you're Craft Collective, these are unique things that I want you to be aware of, or a notice or an upsell to something else that you offer. But if you wanted to adjust the links here, that's what this code recipe I'll show you. Sam did an open office hours, I even think, on this.
I did?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, wait,
but in this one,
maybe, yeah.
I have a few, I'm going to hand wave through this because it's not a coding with Sam event. But I removed the change link because I'm going to handle that differently. I added a link if they're level 1 to upgrade. So you don't see this here because I'm not a solo person, but if I was the level 1, which is my solo learner level, I'm adding an upgrade link to Craft Collective. So those people are going to see this upgrade link, which goes right to checkout for that level. If I am in Craft Collective, my highest tier level, I want to get their feedback. So I added a feedback link in this section. I mean, we already have that feedback block on the dashboard page. I was just like, it's 8 o'clock. What else can I add to this to make this beneficial for my people? I removed the cancel link for my coaching. I don't want people to be able to cancel if they bought a coaching block from me. If they spent $2,700, I don't want to make it easy. They can still do it. They just have to find the link. But it's a one-time payment. It doesn't have an expiration. It doesn't have a recurring payment. There's really no like cancel experience needed here. They're going to use up what they purchased in advance from me, and then they can either buy more or whatever they can do. And then this logic is just, that's that hook that we're using to show those links. So you don't have to do this. You can use the membership account message on the edit level settings. It's just adding and removing these kind of action links on the cards is a code-based thing right now. That's one. This is one I'd like to get somehow into Core Paid Memberships Pro, because this member links section is kind of really inaccessible for using. But I've been doing lately in my demo sites, this is that member links section of the account shortcode. I've been saying, hey, is this the member links section? Load in a menu area, a WordPress menu area. So in this demo, I'm loading in the same menu that might be assigned to your login page widget. I'm going too fast. You guys are all probably like, what is she talking about? Your login page, it can show the logged in member a view, and you can assign a menu to this location. So in my custom code, I'm saying also display that same named menu in my action links. So I think this is, we might have this as a code recipe on the site. I don't know if we do, but this we can play with then with the Nav Menus add-on. We don't.
That doesn't mean we can't add it.
Yeah, we could add this one. So this code is hooking into the member links section of the account page, which is my sidebar of my dashboard. And then I'm also adding one extra link, which is that same upgrade link for level 1 members to upgrade to our Craft Collective full tier. So that's that custom code. This is just something I like to do for the site. Nothing else here is, oh, here. What's this one? Oh, okay, this one's cute. I added this one to show, so we said how the cards, the content of these cards can be edited in level settings here with this membership account message. What I wanted to do was pull in user fields here. And when we added this membership account message, we had a discussion in the developers, and I was like, can we put shortcodes in there? And they were like, why? I don't know why people would want to do that. And then they were like, let's hold off. Let's hold off. And now today I'm like, I wish we had it. So for this coaching tier, I thought to myself, like, what would I have to actually manage if I offered coaching? And I would have to manage the number of hours remaining in their coaching plan, and then some notes, or maybe a link to a Google Doc that we share and collaborate in. So what I did was add those as user fields. So now I can engage with my coaching client, and then under the user fields, I can go to coaching details and I can say, oh, we only have 3 left. And, next section focus, review the Google Doc. This is not the link to a Google Doc. This is a link to google.com. So by editing this content here for member Kim Coleman, when this person returns to their page again, it's going to update the content shown on that card just based on those user fields. So it's just a clean way to create a custom message per user and display it in their member dashboard, in their membership account. So that's what this custom code is saying. It's adding additional content to the card, pulling in their user field. And if we had just offered shortcodes, we could have just used the PMPro member shortcode to do that, but it didn't work. So that is custom code right now. But I think that's also a cool way. So there's so many ways you can add content to the dashboard, just editing in your favorite page builder. But then there are these code ways for things you don't need to edit frequently. I wouldn't say you'd want to use custom code if you were like constantly changing it, right? We wouldn't want to actually just put the notes here, because then you'd be going in and you'd be like modifying it for each user ID. So we have to think of the code as like set it and forget it if it helps me achieve my goals, and then use the editor, my favorite page builder, WordPress block editor, for the more dynamic things that we want to change more frequently when we feel more comfortable with. Unless you love code, then code it all yourself. That's also fair. I think those are all the important snippets.
And just thinking on that, like use case, if it's a cohort that you're regularly using and doing, maybe it's a page that you create and you're updating the page with synced patterns. And so you already, it's like, okay, week 1 of your cohort, you already have a synced pattern with that information for that week 1. And maybe it's just the date range that you're having to go in and change for each of those sessions that you go through. So that's just something my brain.
Yeah, like we can demonstrate. I'm sure Elementor has a concept of synced patterns, right? So let's say we wanted to say like, hey, Kim Coleman instead, right? Now, everywhere that this pattern is shown throughout the pages on the dashboard, the member management page, profile page, it's all updated. So like Sam said, edit in one place, shows in everywhere, which is really simple. Makes things simple for you. We do it sometimes where we just have like empty patterns and we're like, if we ever have a sale, we're going to insert stuff here. But it just exists in the page as this kind of secret portal for us to add stuff later.
And you also can do, so there's synced and unsynced patterns. So if you don't want it to change everywhere, you can use the pattern and only change it in that one place with an unsynced. But if it is synced, it will change in every single place. So that's just something to keep in mind. And we use both on PMPro site. We have places where we do use synced patterns and unsynced patterns.
Yep.
Emily would like to know if these snippets are on our site. And I would say that some of them might be, but we're going to update the blog post that this...
that poor blog post has been needing a shine up for quite some time.
We're going to shine it up, and we're going to include these code recipes in that too.
Yep. And it's going to be hard. I mean, none of this is going to just drop into your site and look beautiful. It just really depends on your theme. Like I said, if you're using a different page builder, it's just going to be, but it is a good basis, I think. And just seeing what is possible here, I hope that you're inspired to go back and look at your account pages and say, how can I make these more inspirational, more dynamic, more of like a landing hub for my members when they log in to like jump into different aspects of their membership that are super cool.
Yeah. Fitwork asks, does anyone know a Membership Pro expert who can refine a site, as I do not build membership sites and time is limited? Recommendations. So that is a perfect segue to tell you that if you're not already in our Slack community, I strongly recommend that you do join our Slack community. Paymerships Pro /Slack. Say that 10 times fast. In there,
Not
you
with can get
You can get community help. The PMPro team is in there. It is not for support, but it is a great way to stay up to date, get peer support, and there are developers in there, so it is a way to connect to them. We also do have a page for our developers. I can share all these links in the live chat here as well, but you also can go through and look at our recommended developers from our site.
Yes, true.
And if you want to know what happens in Coding with Sam, that is the Slack is the one place that it is told prior to the event. If not, you're going to
Duplicate menu plugin. I was going to demonstrate the menu stuff while we clean up some comments. I know we're at time and I could use a talking break, but there's no way to clone a menu. So I'm just going to see if this plugin works. I install plugins and then I just delete them if I'm like, this didn't work. Or I install plugins and then I like use them for what they're good for and then deactivate and delete them. So if you are concerned about the number of plugins in your site, just use what you're using when you need it, like custom post type UI. I need to keep that on the site because it's powering the creation of those custom post types. But the duplicate post I used while I was like creating my blog post, I don't really need that on an ongoing basis. So I'll probably, if this was a live site, I would absolutely delete that as it's not needed anymore. Duplicate menu. We're going to try to duplicate a menu. How do you do it? This is not an intuitive plugin. Create a new menu? No? Has anyone used duplicate menu before? Oh, duplicate menu. Here, it's a separate. Okay. Duplicate login widget. Call it login widget solo learner. All right. Okay. Did it work? Cool. Okay. So we were talking about the Nav Menus add-on and how could we use that to swap a menu based on the level of the person viewing it. So our solo learner level, I want to create a custom menu for the membership account page, that sidebar just for solo learners. So I'm going to edit the solo learner level. I have Nav Menus active. And then down here in this other settings, I can check this box to create a unique navigation menu for this level. So now I know that I have the menu ready for myself. I'm going to edit my login widget solo learner menu, and I'm going to assign it to the login widget solo learner members location. Weird, right? And we know that this group does not have access to the directory. So rather than showing that link, like we said, and giving them kind of a dead end, if we wanted it as teaser, we could keep it as teaser. But if we were like, you know what, let's remove it, that's a dead end. We're going to do that and save menu. So what should happen on the membership account page now, I have Craft Collective. Is that what it's called? Code Craft Collective. So I can still see directory here. I'm going to pretend to be somebody who's solo learner. And now you'll see my menu changed. I don't see directory anymore. So it's kind of confusing to think about. If you think of like, this is the location we show this special menu. And then Nav Menus is saying, okay, which special menu? The members one, the one unique for their level, the one for logged out members is an option, logged out users is an option, or just everyone. So rather than using like content visibility on this section and building it all into the account page, I can just say like, okay, this menu is managed in the menus area and every level has a unique view of it. And I can edit each one individually. That's Nav Menus Add On. We use it in our site at PMPro for sure. I like it. Very helpful.
One last question before we sign off. Robert wants to know, how easy is it to move things around and modify the design and layout over time? Easy is a relative term, my friend.
Yeah. Just depends. I mean,
yeah, it depends on how you build it. It
you
depends
can
on what
do
you
weird
build it
things.
with.
Yeah. Like in the block editor, and I'm sure that
depends on your knowledge
Elementor
base.
has a similar, yeah, like if I look here, the block editor has this like tree view. of the page, and then you can like go in. But, like, you can do weird things by accidentally like moving things where they shouldn't. But this tree view kind of helps see what weird things you're doing. I don't know. It's hopefully you're not editing it all that much. But
and I don't mean to
I don't know.
scare
It's one of
you,
those like
Robert.
just
It's
get
just
started.
easy
No,
is
yeah.
a word that we don't really like to use because what's easy for me may not be easy for Kim, may not be easy for Joe Schmo. So, you know, and everybody has different skill levels, what you build it with, what you're trying to show, what you're trying to edit. I mean, there's a lot of factors.
When I look back at the blog post that needed to be updated by this event and where we are now with the appearance of this page, it's like light years better. Like, if we even pulled out, I'm sad to even send you guys that link, because that, like, I look back at like what Kim created in 2014, I think, and I'm like, that is so ugly.
It's an old,
and it's like,
it's an old post.
It's an old post, but it's like, I was different then. The tools were different then. My knowledge and experience and what was possible with PMPro were so different then. So like creating this to me was easy. Creating that back then was also easy. But when I look at that, I'm like, what was I thinking? So I don't know. It's good to know that your membership site's this like living, breathing, evolving thing and feel comfortable with that. Like, members will appreciate when it's like has some new things coming to it, as long as you're not like totally changing the dashboard every time. They're like, oh wait, I don't know how to get to the next masterclass. Like, you moved the link. Like, there's some familiarity where things belong, that your members are going to learn. So even to them to like change things up can be jarring. But I don't know. It's good to show that it's dynamic.
2 years ago, I was sitting in an airport working on the Quilting Guild site, and I just about jumped up and down in the middle of the airport because I figured out how to do the loop to show the most recent blog posts. And that might seem like the most basic thing to somebody, but for me, I felt like I climbed a mountain and I was on top of the world because I just figured out how to do the coolest thing ever. And
that's awesome.
But now, I'm doing coding with Sam, and I'm teaching you guys how to code, even though I don't know how to code. So
that's super cool.
It's, dive in and learn how to do it.
Yes. My goal is that we get this. It's good to move back to New England Santa Society, which I want to look up the New England Santa Society. That's exciting. Do you need like a Bernie's Mountain Dog? Because I have one, and that would be a cute addition to your Santa nest. So let me know. I'm in Pennsylvania, not too far. My goal is that I get this site into InstaWP so that you all can create clones and wreck the heck out of it. Play with it. Come back to us and tell us, hey, that was actually easy, Kim. Or come back to us and say, like, I'm still lost. But I hope that we can do a step-by-step, either how to create it or just like how was each component of this created, which I think will be cool because not every site has events. Not every site has a video library. But if you want to add a video library section to your account page, here's how we did it in this example.
This video will stay.
I don't know when that will come out.
Yeah, this video will be on YouTube. We're not going to take it down, so you can find it.
Even though I was coughing.
Yeah, no, you're fine. You can find it in our playlist. I think it's an Open Office Hours playlist, or I can't remember the title exactly, but it will be on our Stranger Studio YouTube page. And then when we do get this blog post updated, which I will try to push Kim to use the transcript and get it done relatively soon, we will change the publish date to when she actually does it. So it will be sticky on our blog page on our site. So you can watch out for that. And I will also do my best to make sure that Christy sends out a newsletter about this page being updated in case you missed Kim's Open Office Hours, here's the blog post.
But I think in the meantime, like, grab a notepad and just be like, what is like what are the sections I just want to show? Like, what do I feel like is a buried feature of my membership? Like, really starting there. Like, I was like, I'm going to create it all, but it's all fictitious. Like, in this site, like, what are you actually highlighting? What is actually like the top 3 things that you think is the most value providing of your membership? And people are overlooking or forgetting that's a part of not engaging with, or something new that you're highlighting. So
we actually recently just did that with the PMPro site and updating our menu. We said, we offer so much, and so much is hidden behind link after link after link. It's like a never ending spiral that you can go into. But the dog's about to get mad. He's about to get mad.
Killing time.
Yeah. But we did that. We literally wrote down a list, pen and paper.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Pennsylvania with Jason and Kim, and we drew out what we were trying to build. So awesome.
Yeah. Thank you guys. All right. When are we back, Sam?
We are back next Friday, 9 a.m. for Coding with
Awesome.
Sam. And then our next open office hours is going to be April 24th. That one's going to be a really cool one. We are going to take a MemberPress site that Kim White just built for us, and we're going to migrate it to be a PMPro site. So if you know any MemberPress users who are thinking about getting away from MemberPress, they're going to want to be at this open office hours on the 24th.
We're going to actually, we have a migration guide. We're going to put it to the test. I'm going to do my homework. I'm going to actually play around with that MemberPress demo site, and then we're going to try.
Yeah. So we'll see you next time. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks all. Stay healthy.